Michael Brown from Tinternet, courtesy of Tinted. Right, today we're going to talk about something really basic, and it's the cleaning of the glass. Now, the cleaning of the glass, although it sounds really basic, is obviously so important because if you don't clean it properly, your window tint is going to have contaminants all the way through it. If you don't know what a contaminant is, if you're just learning to tint now, and this is all very new to you, a contaminant is simply a foreign object trapped between the glass and the film. It could even just be an individual speck of dust that the eye can't even see. But when the film goes over the top of it, it has to have this little step. And that little step, once dried, will create a tiny little bubble, the same shape as the contaminant, but tenfold bigger. So that tiny little dot becomes this quite big bubble. And of course, if you get a cluster of them, say if we're tinting this window here and we catch this felt going down this edge here and we get like 8 or 9 little specks of felt trapped between there, it's going to look very unattractive. Of course, there are a certain percentage of contaminants that is acceptable. There is no such thing as the perfect window, but to get 99% would be pretty good. So I'm going to tell you how we clean our glass. Now, the first thing we need to do before we start cleaning the glass is to strip the door panel. Now, a lot of tinters out there, they don't strip the door panels. They're what you call a top loader. You'll hear me talk about it all the time. We're bottom loaders. We like to do things properly. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to strip this door down. In order to strip this door down, which is a Vauxhall Corsa, I'm going to wind this window down and I'm just going to unroll the top of this door panel. Sat on clips. So we simply unroll it from the clips and we can get the thing straight out. Once we sort of get that release, I get a nice little hook tool here and I like to go from the side of this rubber. Try to get in at the side underneath, and as you can see, it's starting to go. I don't like to pull it up too much because it's going to bend. So once you get to this part here, if you can slide it, all the better. And now we've just got that gap to enter our film. Now, the reason that I'm talking about something so basic as cleaning is because every time I see other tinters online, everybody cleans the glass completely differently. Some people I agree with their methods, so I can see what they're doing. Other methods can be very random, and I'm watching it thinking, what are you doing? But people might be thinking the same about me when I'm just about to show you how to do this. So I'm going to show you how we do it. Now, let me show you what we need. We need our squeegee. We need a non-scratch sponge. We need a conqueror. We don't need one of these, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute. And solution-wise, there are loads of different solutions that you can buy to clean the glass. I can't remember who makes it now, but there's one even called Dirt Off, and their partner, Dirt Off, is Film On. So that's their soap. Obviously, you have Tint Slime and Film On and all this sort of stuff. It's all rubbish. Johnson's baby shampoo, anything that is mild enough, has a mild enough pH balance to hurt a baby's eyes, that's good enough for the glue of the window film. So I'm going to use the same solution to clean the glass as I'm going to apply the glass. Another reason is I remember when I first started window tinting that I would always accidentally pick up the bottle of Dirt Off and apply the window film with Dirt Off, and it didn't work at all. You couldn't slip and slide it. So when you have too many different solutions, the last thing you want to do is use the wrong one. The first thing I'm going to do is inspect. Actually, no, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back on myself, and I'm going to tell you why I don't use one of these. Now, this is a single-edged razor blade, stainless steel. It shouldn't scratch the glass. I say shouldn't, because if you read the box, it will always say that it cannot guarantee that it will not scratch the glass. The reason I only use one of these, unless it is completely necessary, if I've got a big sort of lump of glue there, and even then I'll try and use some sort of chemical instead. And it's because back in the day when I first started to learn how to window tint, when I had to work for a window tinting company and I was getting shown how to do it, everything we did was spray it up, blade it all, and tint it. Problem is, the amount of times that we would razor blade glass that was pretty much brand new and clean anyway, and when we'd finished, all of a sudden we'd see all these scratches from the razor blade. And If you blade with reckless abandonment like this, and you scratch it, them sort of abstract scratches in that glass, there is no denying that that was not you. So a long time ago, I learned to put this down. So the first thing I'm going to do, pretending that I never did that, pretending that this glass is still dry, let's make it dry for the video. Is inspect, 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 inspect. So we strip the door panel, that's number one. Number two, inspect. I'm going to look here, can I see anything out of the ordinary? Is there any fingerprints, any parking ticket sticker residue? Was there tint on there before? Anything at all? What can we see? Nothing. I can't see anything out of the ordinary. So that tells me that we do not need to clean this window drastically. We do not need that razor blade. We do not need to risk scratching this glass for no reason at all. So what I'm going to do is, I've been a tinter for 22 years, and I've recently just changed the way that I clean the glass. And it's because we started doing a lot of vehicle wrapping, and we were buying isopropyl alcohol to clean all of the panels before we wrapped them, and it became very, very expensive. And one day we were wrapping the car, we didn't have any to hand. It would have taken a day or two by the time we bought it from our supplier for it to come, and we needed a quick fix now. So I went across the road to the car accessory shop, and I bought a big bottle of screen wash for your windscreen. And I filled it up, and because it's got alcohol inside it, and because it's designed to cut through the grease and bugs and dirt on the outside of the windscreen, it's good enough for me. So this bottle here doesn't represent anything. It's an old bottle that's full up with screen wash. You can probably see there the color of it. It's a lot like that stuff that sprays, that your windscreen washer sprayers will spray onto your glass. The reason it does is because it is. Next thing, I'm going to get my non-scouring sponge, and I'm going to change it up a bit now. All I'm going to do is use the same solution that I normally apply my window tint with, and I'm going to create a froth on the scouring pad side, like that. I'm going to start on the top, and it's going to be nothing drastic. I'm going to go on that top for about 3 or 4 seconds. Then I'm going to go down the sides for about the same amount of time. Top of the door panel, but bear in mind that's not the bottom of the glass yet because it's wound down. Other side, and then I'm going to hit the whole thing up and down and side to side. That is done. We are going to grab my squeegee, start at one far end at the top, get that top edge dry, and keep going all the way to the other side. Now, what have we got? All of that water is now clinging on this pillar. So, we get the conqueror, we jab it in, and we squeegee it downwards. Always letting gravity take over. Never squeegee anything upwards, because anything that goes up must come down. I get a low lint fibre cloth, and I wipe the top edge first, because I'm about to wind it up. Now I can do the bottom in exactly the same manner. I'm going to grab my screen wash. I'm going to grab my non-scratch sponge with my film solution, which is baby shampoo. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing at the bottom as I did at the top. Now, the door panels here, I'm actually getting my fingertip pressing through the sponge and downwards. So I'm actually cleaning about 1 centimetre underneath that visible area too. Do the sides again, do the other side again, and then because we went side to side, I'm also going to go up and down. Now again, it's very important to remember here that any dirt that was on the glass, any dirt that was stuck to the glass, we've now loosened when we've cleaned it. So where is the dirt right now? Of course, it is sat in the water. So that means that if we don't get this bone dry, we do not get it clean. Once it is dry, we know there is no more water left on the glass, and the contaminants were currently sat in the water. So now that it's dry again, we can now call that clean. I like to give the door panel a wipe at this stage. Sometimes with that same sponge, if you make it all wet again, then your drip marks won't stay in the door panel. And then just give it another quick wipe, and that's ready to go. If I haven't cut my door glass yet, if I haven't cut the pattern, the shape of the window, I will leave it up. I will cut it all now and get ready. If I have already cut the window film and now I'm cleaning it, I will drop it down to there, which is my laying height. And then I'll turn the ignition off so we don't run the battery out. My name is Michael Brand. Thank you for watching.